Is Suresh here? Suresh, have to join. Well, today we'll take up maybe one or two topics. We'll just continue. You can write down next topic as invoice verification. We'll take the invoice verification.
Sir, disturbance or
Is it better now?
yes, sir.
Okay. Invoice verification. You all already know how to process IR. We have discussed this already. But when are we going to don't post, or what are the things that are required in invoice verification? When are we going to stop invoice from posting? How to block and release? So those things we'll just try understanding today. In invoice verification, uh, let us proceed with MIRO screen itself, which is visible to you. So in this we have a basic data tab in which invoice date, posting date and amount. These three things we are going to enter. And we also have reference number. If in case of any reference to be given, we'll use that reference number. Suresh is joining. Then here you can see layout below, all information which provides in this layout all the information required. As you can see, item, amount, quantity, then order unit, purchase order number, item number, pivot text, etc. So all those things we have here. That is all information. We can limit it to certain confirmations. Generally we'll go with all information so that we can have all the options available. For that purpose we'll go with all information here. And see, as you know, this PO reference purchase order, just a minute.
Sir, ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳವಲ್ತ್ರಿ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, I was on mute. I had to attend the call. I just told I'm in a meeting. Hello. Hello. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just said that I'm in a meeting. Okay, so I was telling you this PO number or schedule agreement number. We can take that. See, we have general ledger account also here. General ledger material. I'll just take today's date. Any PO number that you remember? I'll just take some PO. some PO number. Just for sake of reference, I'm taking it. See, observe this purchasing document has incorrect category as it doesn't belong to the company code. I was about to take some PO. I'm in class. I'm in training. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe by 8:30. Just a minute.
000, sir. 45000.
Ah,
22, sir.
22842.
22.
yeah, 842 with two items in that. So if I select this, I think this is one of the errors Srinivas is facing, isn't it?
Uh, no, sir. Actually, we are facing a problem in GR.
GR. Which
Yes, sir.
user,
That means subcontract
which user ID are you working with?
41,158, sir.
Okay, let me try with that itself a bit later. See, you have this general ledger account, material details, contact reference, all this here, other tabs. Now in this, we are going to enter PO number, amount will just map and we'll be posting it if whatever we have received is in accordance with purchase order scheduling agreement based on that. And here in the PO structure, we get to know what is the quantity, what has been delivered, etc. So that we'll get to know here. So this is one major step what as a consultant you are going to be aware of. And as you know that the accounts related things and further payments will be taken care by finance part in fact. Now you can make a note of few things in this. In MIRO screen, MIRO screen, incoming invoice is entered. This is further this is further used to generate financial accounting invoice documents
Financial accounting.
invoice documents invoice documents debit and credit entries in GL accounts debit and credit entries in GL accounts. See, we have seen this while posting. You saw two accounts, if you remember, 1,60,000 reconciliation account and one more goods being posted. So while posting invoice, I had made you to write down those two accounts as well. Hope you have written it and you can just refer back. entries in various general ledger accounts. Then further process.
ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗೈತೆ ಸರ್, ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು?
Is it same for all of you? Is my voice not audible clear?
ಸರ್ ಈ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್
It is audible, but little much slow voice is there.
Okay.
Low voice is there.
Hope it is clear now.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Payment to the vendor, to process payment to the vendor. Next step you can write down invoices and account assignment So make a note of this path: SPRO, IMG, SPRO, IMG, materials management, purchasing, SPRO, IMG, materials management, purchasing. Under that, account assignment. There maintain account assignment categories. So I'll click on that. Yeah, we have seen in service PO, and for few of you I had suggested to take unknown account. You can see that here, sales order related, cost center came. So we have these accounts which are already predefined. Account assignment, we are supposed to take one of these accounts while working on with particular POs. If it is required to be taken under a particular material general ledger account, from there, see, in accounting department as of now in ECC, the system is like this. We have few profit centers, cost centers, asset accounts, material master accounts, general ledger, then vendor related accounts, customer related accounts through sales and distribution. So we have all these separate, and few accounts are to be, we call the term, in technical terms it is called reconciliation of accounts, in order to drag all these things into the balance sheet. So we'll take inputs from all these and put it into single balance sheet. So that is the system in ECC. We get these inputs from different accounts as such. Here, account assignment is to be done for a particular account type. Let us assume if it is cost center account or sales order account, third party. So if something is being dealt with them, so that account should get triggered. For that, we need to assign the account. This is something what we see right from a purchase requisition screen. We have item category. We have seen that even in PO, we have already provided account assignment, different types of accounts. So what we have in particular for service PO, what we did, taking it as U. And even in PR, if it is not getting executed, we can take U and execute that. Probably one of you have sent me that error, and this was suggested to you, with which you could process PR, purchase requisition. So like this, we have these accounts to be defined, and here the account assignment is made. We have already the standard accounts which are already created. Make to order, make to stock, this is for production purpose. Sales order is related to sales and distribution. And similarly, third party, if it is being a third party or subcontract being taken into some other material, if in such case we are supposed to provide that account. And in general, there is no need to provide any account once we define the material type properly, so that based on the attributes of material types itself, the accounts will get triggered automatically. Like if it is raw material, if it is semi-finished, if it is finished, I have already shown you that in OBYC screen, where we have already seen that. So these accounts are automatically triggered based on the material type. However, we have an option of maintaining few more accounts in this screen. Are you able to see this accounting automatic posting procedure? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
in this, if I just go to inventory posting BSX in chart of accounts INT, you can see based on valuation class we have accounts. This valuation class is again based on material type. So these things are already preset. This is for automatic posting. If in particular I need some other account, now that account will be maintained under this, under SPRO IMG materials management, purchasing, under that account assignment. So maintain account assignment categories. Cost center. So just to give some information, you can observe this in cost center. Account assignment changeable at IR, that is in the during the time of invoice receipt. Now consumption posting is V, account modification VBR. So these are the things as strings what we need to take inputs from finance as well, which account to be assigned during the time of PO, or further in processing of IR, they'll consider it before payment. For in order to maintain a particular account, this is done. Maybe for a particular vendor or for a department, if they have to get to know what is the total cost incurred within one financial year, or for a project, in that case, they'll maintain separate accounts. Here it is assigned. In this, as you can see, we have few mandatory fields, optional fields, display and hidden. Whatever is selected as mandatory field, that field you have to make entry, or else you cannot proceed. System will ask for that. If I say business area should be a mandatory field, then a business area is to be created and that field is to be entered, else system will not proceed further. Similarly, we have optional entry. It can be optional, then display only for the sake of saying, and hidden, so that field will not appear at all in the screen. That field becomes hidden field. So these are the different options under field labels what we have. Well, this is about creating account, and required, if so, we can have that account assignment in the in during processing PO in PO itself, and same can be carried with IR. And accounting department will get to know that this is maintained for certain user department or for certain production time period for a particular order. They'll take it under that account, and they'll further take it for the balance sheet in order to get to know how much credit or debit it has incurred within that project or financial year. So that is taken care by finance people. This is one account assignment. Then moving on to item categories and account assignment categories. So this also we have already witnessed. You can see item category here and account assignment category. I'll just take observe this. For cost center it is K, and item category is L for cost center, you can see this combination is maintained, and unknown account further. All auxiliary accounts you can see X is maintained, and unknown, no item category is maintained for that. Any item you can just assign it for unknown. These item categories you already know. If you want to maintain this combination, let us assume while processing PO, you are not able to process certain item. If in case subcontracting, I am not able to process with probably K. In that case, what I need to do, I have to come to this screen. I have to click on new entries, take L K combination. Yeah, here you have L and K combination with cost center. Similarly, D I have account assignment. So whatever accounts just now we saw, that in combination with any item category, we can have that. We can see unknown, uh, sorry, unknown account assignment, where you don't have any particular item mentioned for that. That means you can take it for all the item categories. Yeah, here unknown account, you have that, no item category is maintained. And account assignment, here you can see D. So this is particular project, as you can see here, settlement for a particular project, so customer related. Similarly, C is for sales order, for particular sales order. This is again production, make to stock. We have two things, one is make to order, other is make to stock in production process. So cost centers are generally created by them, production department, PP, production planning, they are going to create for work centers as they need. Cost center creation, maintaining company code as controlling area, so cost centers will be created. And you can also see D being as service item category with asset account, sales order, cost center, and unknown. In this combination, we had worked with service PO, DU unknown. So this is again the assignment made here. So this combination can be maintained. Firstly, I told you about account assignment category, then combination of that item category along with account assignment category, that is maintained here. So any coding required, any coding to be blocked in particular priority business area, this is taken care. In fact, along with finance, if in case for any business area, material valuation type, if anything to be blocked or made active, so that is done in the screen. You can maintain that for which business area, for which plant. If it is a sales order, then we are supposed to provide that information, or for material. This is not generally required. Cost center business area does not come under materials management. So again, input is to be taken for this. Here you can remember these two, account assignment category and combination of those account assignments. So these two things remember under SPROMG. I'll come back further for a few other things. When do you think that we need to block invoice?
When the material given is not up to the marks.
Yeah, when material given is not up to mark, or if there is anything mismatch probably in amount, maybe tax code is something told in PO, something else, some other percentage is added. In such cases also we may have to block. So we will have to block based on these things. We need to block it, and we can also further release once we get things clarified. If at all they send a new invoice, then we can get it posted and further payments can be released for those particular invoices. So this invoicing plans, and also in order to maintain some tolerance limits, these things can be configured. let us look into that. Invoicing plans you can write. Invoicing plans. SPRO IMG. Materials management. Purchasing. Under purchasing, purchase order. Purchasing, purchase order. Then invoicing plan. Their invoicing plan types. See, periodic invoicing plan types and partial invoicing plan. We have these two. Make a note of it. SPRO IMG purchasing. Purchase order invoicing plan. Invoicing plan types. Periodic invoicing plan types. This is done if it is reoccurring in nature. If it is repetitive, like payments of rent or payments for some infrastructure being used, some outsource being done, which is recurring again and again, then you can do this. Periodic invoicing. You have this, you can observe sample periodic invoice plan. So start date, that is contract start date, which date are you going to start? Here 2 is considered, or you can take the date on which you are creating the plan. And end date, of course, to what extent? See, this is generally taken contract start and contract end. And maybe for 1 year, calendar year or current year, if it is monthly based on that particular month, if it is only for that month, or 6 months, you have that here. So based on that, this horizon can be defined. And this happens to be the plan for the payment purpose. What you are going to define here as period. If it is repetitive, then we need not have to wait for invoice every time. Monthly, you will just release the payment based on this understanding. Let us assume if it is for 3 months or 4 months, if I take for say, then 25% you can start releasing of total amount, so that by 4 months you will clear. In the case of partial planning, that is in the case of partial payment. In case of repetitive, you have to pay periodic invoicing, you are supposed to pay the entire amount. In case of partial invoice, we can just divide it into different parts, maybe 4 parts, as I told you, 4 months. Say deadlines are not created automatically or created automatically with the dialog box. We have 3 options here. Created automatically, you can just define that what should be the deadline category. Invoice suggests dates for that default date. Percentage partial invoice. If I take percentage, as I told, 25%. If it is for 4 months, 25, 25, 25, 25, you can close it. Or closing invoice directly. Or if you are making down payment, you can take T3. Now, what are the advantages of this, or why do we need this? Based on certain repetition, we need not have to wait for the vendor to release invoice. We can have some understanding and we can directly make the payment. Only for that purpose, we have it. Hope you understood this. See, we have these many date descriptions like maybe rent, maintenance, contract, design, assembly, test run, project, specific or down payment. So these things can be planned. This is under invoice planning.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Furthering, in vendor master control, and of course in payment transactions, we have seen this even in purchase info record. We have already seen tolerance limits. How much tolerance, what is the percentage to be defined, and so that has been already discussed. Let me just go to the SAP menu screen. I'll come back. You can see this logistics invoice verification. Under document entry, this is what we do, enter invoice. We have park invoice, MIR7. So this is used to park invoice and enter invoice for invoice verification in the background. That is MIRA. So ERS we have seen automatic, that is ERS is under that, MRRL. And MRKO also we have seen consignment and pipeline settlement. So this is invoicing plan settlement. MRIS we have to take in case of plan settlement. So you can write that. You can make a note of few other T codes. Say display list of invoice documents, MIR5. In MIRO screen, we have hold block. We can block it for payment. And MRBR is used to release blocked invoices. Once you get things clarified, you can release that. MRBR, the T code. MRBR. And to cancel invoice document, MR8M. Make a note of these T codes. Now let us discuss something about blocking invoices. You can write this, blocking invoice or invoice block. Invoice block is to avoid payment to the vendor, in case of discrepancies. In case of discrepancies, after posting the invoice, finance department makes the payment. If the invoice is blocked, the payment will be blocked until the difference in the amount is clarified or resolved. You can write is clarified or resolved. So invoice blocking is done invoice is blocked based on quantity or price variance invoices can be manually blocked and also randomly blocked. So quantity and price is quite simple. We have seen that under PO structure, goods receipt structure. So if the PO is for 100 numbers, you have received only 80, 60, then you can stop payment until you get it clarified, because there is some variance in the quantity. Until you get it, you can stop. And again, price also, if the price is not calculated properly, if there is any discrepancy with respect to tax code, PO amount and invoice amount, if there is any difference, then as you have already seen, system will not allow you to post. It show only an option to block. To block invoice manually, let us connect back. We have less than a minute. Let us connect back.